You've heard the saying, money doesn't grow on trees, and it's probably just as well, because if it did, you'd be digging down to the roots right now for enough money to pay for your lumber. Here to explain to us why and help kind of make sense of all this, this is the president of Spicer Brothers Construction, Brian Spicer. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for talking to us this afternoon. So what is going on? What's going on with the lumber prices, Brian?
Last year, when the pandemic hit, we started to see a little increase.
Yeah.
The year over year, the prices have went up, 300+%. And, over the last year to date, it's about 6%. So, there's tariffs on the imported lumber. Everyone was thinking that the pandemic was going to depress the construction business for a long time, but that wasn't the case. The business came back booming, after a few months and caught everyone off guard. The suppliers, the factories, there's materials sitting at the borders with high tariffs. So, less material, higher price, and it's affecting everyone.
All right, so let me make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying, because I'm not as smart on this as you are. Essentially, when the pandemic started, everybody thought nothing was going to happen. So with nothing happening, there was no point in the mills turning out the lumber and the producers turning out the finished product for you to use on site. So therefore, suddenly there was a shortage. Is that what you're?
Yes. And at the beginning of the pandemic, the factories, they actually slowed down, and, there was people laid off. So the material in the supply chain was, just wasn't there. And then the building industry, renovations and new construction came back with a boom, and it caught everyone off guard.
So when it comes to build, I mean, obviously this is going to affect you as a builder. Are there other people that this is affecting? This lumber shortage, I guess?
Everything that pertains to wood is going up. There's cabinets for the kitchen remodelers. It's affecting them. Builders, of course, it's affecting them. We're starting to see a few foundations sitting around where the foundations were built because those materials the costs hadn't rose any yet. But now with the lumber prices, there's foundations sitting around because I guess the builders and the homeowners you just can't afford right now to build, or it doesn't make sense to build at this time to them.
So what does this mean for a local company like you? Are you going to be able to stick this out until everything catches up again?
Yes, we've been able to change we've had to change the way we do business. We're fortunate enough to have a warehouse to where we try to buy in advance. We get notice as to when the materials are going to increase. So we stock up on plywood. We have numerous hacks of plywood just to stay ahead of the increases, and try to, keep our prices from going up as often as, they might have to.
Right. Now I realize it's not going to go back to the way it was. It's going to be different than the way it was. But do you think there's going to come a point where we're at least kind of stabilizing and regulating out?
I think the material costs are from what we're hearing from our suppliers, it's going to get worse before it gets better. So those, thinking they're going to wait it out to do a renovation, build a deck, build a house, do an addition, it's only going to get worse for a while. So to me, in my opinion, there should be no holding out. Interest rates are helping folks. They're in the favor of the consumer. So, I think there's some things in place that we've been able to do with financing and things such as that to try to help out with the burden, but I just don't see it getting any better.
Yeah. Well, if you have plans of building something, there's no man better than this man right here. Brian Spicer, president of Spicer Brothers Construction. Thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon and explaining some things that I was trying to figure out myself.
All right.
All right, Brian, you take care now.